Merfolk. This was a deck that I put together, had some pretty explosive starts and some pretty lackluster ones in the games I played. It's another Collected Company deck, which kind of lets you play out multiple creatures per turn. You have 2 Lords and Mirror Regery. That also lets you tap and untap for some shenanigans, as well as Merfolk Mistbinder. So that all pumps your team. I only have 3 Deep Root Elites, and I'm not sold on this deck, so I don't particularly want to craft a 4th one just yet. But whenever another Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Then you have the unblockable one. You load it up. This is just a 1-mana 2/2 for the most part. Silvergill gives us card advantage. Trickster does trickster things. Taps opponent's things. Branchwalkers for card advantage. Borrowers are honorary Merfolk here. It's really just for tempo. Play Cause, thanks for the raid. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Then we got Kumena, really good in these types of builds. Play Cause, thanks again. So this allows you to draw cards, put counters, do a whole bunch of stuff like that. Played against an interesting one. Emancipation Angel, Shepherd of the Flock, Charming Prince. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So here we have just your pretty much standard mana base, Spell Pierce, Negates, Deep Water. So counters for tempo stuff. Deep Root is for like the more grindy matchups where they're playing a lot of removal. Coppola for targeted removal, Brontodon for like cage or stuff like that, and Ashiok for the field matchup. So I've only played a couple games, so we're going to test it out in unranked a bit more. They won't let me play traditional historic unless we do ranked, so we're playing best of 1. Try this out, see how it goes. It's really just kind of theory crafting. I haven't played too much, unlike the other one where we played like I played a bunch of that Stompy list to relative success. So I was confident on the latter. We'll try this out. So Lurrus could be a couple things. We could be playing the Pyromancer deck. We could be playing Auras. Triple unblockables into Mirror Regery is going to be pretty sick. Okay, this is Pyromancer. I think in this matchup we just do this. We draw the land, we're in a good spot for Regery. Hit him for 6 next turn. They just drop like Pyromancer. We just bounce it as well. Could be Claim. Or, yeah. It's really annoying that there's Claim and then Claim the Firstborn. I'm gonna Brazen Borrow this turn. Or do I take 5? No, I think we Brazen Borrower. I'm doing it on their turn as well in case they have like Village Rights that taps their mana on their turn, not letting them use all their mana. Mind you, I feel like they probably would have rights their Stitcher Supplier. Let's do this now. Really just need a land here. It's pretty aggressive on their part. They hit us for 3. I don't want them to see that we have Kumena. Sweet. So Mirror Regery next turn. Could also just do Kumena, put counters on everything. But I like Mirror Regery because when we cast this, we can untap one of our Merfolks and kind of do some shenanigans that way. Alright, Dread Horde. So they can claim the Firstborn in combat, but they've already declared attacks, so unless they have a sack outlet. If they attack with this, I'm going to let the damage come through. I don't want to fill their graveyard for the Arcanist. I think we just turn sideways here, let them figure it out. Alright, taking down Rakdos. They're not like super well equipped. Game 1, usually the removal, mind you, if they have like shocks and stuff in their build, but the Pyromancers tend to have like really varied instances. This one's going more all in on the token. So this turn's gonna be... This is probably gonna be the curve. This gives us card advantage and filtering. Yeah, I'm actually cool with that. Gives me another unblockable threat, and then I can play out Mirror Regery. Okay, Goblins. If they want to double block, I'm fine with that. And now I go Trickster, tap down one of their blockers, Mirror Regery, smack in for a whole bunch. It's fine. They may also attack in here. So we get to eat one of these. Just go to Lord here. This matchup's pretty much a race, so we want to be proactive. This lets me tap down one of their blockers next turn. Kind of surprised they went with Gem Palm there. Oh, you know what? I should have tapped down their token. Force their block that way. Let's pretend like we have something. We don't do anything beyond 4 mana. Krenko would be bad here. So one thing of note, this is on cast trigger. So if you do something like blah, 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 can't think. Collected Company. Collected Company won't let you get the tap triggers. Let's go Insult to Injury here. Not bad. Rakdos and Goblins down. This might be a decent best of one deck. Just throws a whole lot of power in play. We're like really thin on interaction, so it's very linear what we're trying to do. Play some dorks, some unblockable, Coco, go. I'm gonna go the triple forest. Draw, not where we want to be. It's actually not terrible. Use this deep root to get this going. So I'm gonna let the dog out. What? You come here, and you're making food. Go downstairs. Go downstairs. Go. Dog was barking to get in. Ooh, we have an historic adventure deck. So we'll take a setup turn here. They are playing giant killers, so we want to be maybe mindful of how big we make our lords. Draw a card. Not going so hot here. Lots of flooding. They're going to start refilling their hand. Each of these count as 2 cards drawn. They know about our Trickster, which makes it a little worse. This can also help them get around. So we need a collected company, really. Rejury's a thing. Probably lost this one. I couldn't really afford to not play out Rejury this turn. Giant killers are also just going to tap down my things. Like with all adventure decks, when they're able to get like the edge walls down early, it's a lot more impactful than when they don't have it. This game they've basically drawn like 5 cards. Yeah. Let me see if I draw collected. Too many lands. Like, I could tap this down for a turn, but they got a whole bunch of power coming in, and we're too far behind. If we had our engines going, maybe we could erase them, but when your only removal is 2 Brazen Borrowers, especially against Adventure, which just resets their Adventure, and then they get the 2 draws off the edge walls. We're not really doing much in this game. Keep. They're on Luris. Give me 1 drop. Give me 1 drop. Which one you want, opponent? You want my Lord? You want my engine? You want my Coco? I don't think it makes much difference. Again, this matchup, they're not going to deal more than like 1 damage. Or if they do, it's going to be 1 or 2 damage. think here we just get Deep Root going. Just try to race them. They've taken 4 damage already. Two shocks going in the bin is really good. If I was them, I'd probably like attack with the knight first. Can see all the information. They already know about the trickster. Looking for a land here. Sweet. Sweet. They've shown shock as their removal, so I want to keep the Deep Root outside of shock range. They also don't seem to have shock, because if they did, they would have played it. Okay, this could potentially draw them into... Okay, so it's a Pyromancer version with Knight. They don't hit a Croxa, which is nice. I will block here. Okay, they don't attack. Can go unblockable. It's not mana efficient. Let's go here. Not drawing lands has been a bit of an issue. So they can Luris, get back Knight. If they have a land, they can get back Pyromancer. Can also just go Splire. Sweet. So I can force their hand. So if I play this, I force them into having to block with Croxa or with Luris. I think we do that. So I think we make this 4 power. This way they're dead if they don't block. Like they can make tokens, but that's fine. Because now I go Silver Gale or Mistcloak Herald. Draws me an extra card. This also means it doesn't die to an elemental. Cocoa Sweets. I should have held the land because if they have Croxa, then I lose out on it. There was no harm in there holding the land. Heartless Axe pretty rough there. Because if they rip Croxa... Okay, they get Croxa, so they can Croxa and maximize velocity. But they have to hold it back. Yeah, punished for not holding land. Coco would have been good. Still have a number of lords. I think all our lords are still in our deck. GG's! Top deck champ! Run this one for one more. Do a quick one at this. Stompy we ran for about an hour. And grab some dinner. Based on the tracker, my curve's really high. Let's try this out. Brazen Borer bounce their early plays. Sucks if we're playing against an oven deck. Island go. We won't tell you what we're on. That's a great draw. So we'll go Mirror Rejury. And then this is free to cast because I get to untap my land. And then I can Mirror Rejury. Ooh, Elementals. So we're not going to get board wiped. We go Coco this turn? Yeah, maybe we just go Coco. It's a safer play here, I think. Because then I can tap down their creatures after, try to find some lords. Terror of the Peaks. Sure thing. Well, that's going to be bounced by Brazen Borer. Here, we want to draw a card. And I would like probably the unblockable. So here I can go Mirror Rejury, untap, untap, and tap. Then we can go Brazen Borer, bounce this Terror. And we just have the dorks run him over. Trickster can tap down Terror here. Genesis Ultimatum. Okay. Opponents one-upping our 1-mana spells with their 7 mana. Let's hope for 5 lands. Alright, doesn't do enough. You're dead still. Blink your elementals. Yeah, so the line there would have been Merfolk, Trickster, tap this down, untap a land, play Kumena, and then tap 5 Merfolks to put counters, and then there's 8 damage unblockable coming in. Alright, that was quick. We'll do one more. I really want like Aether Vial. That's what we need. Or just like a third lord. There is the clone that we can try out. In and of itself, it's not a Merfolk, but we can have it copy other Merfolk. Mirror image, I think. Keep. One of these is going away. Grixis. Yikes. Do you know what you don't want to see as a creature deck with no tempo? So this is a matchup where Spell Pierce would come in, where Deep Root Waters, Cry of the Carnarium me. You got Bedevil, what do you got? I have no fear. Opponent's done 6 damage to themselves. Coolio. Excited to get Languished here. Can't even cast this next turn without another Merfolk. Kept on top. Ravager. Let's draw Lord. Look at a block here, but I think in this matchup we just need to force them as much as possible. They take the damage. No Languish. No Languish one time. Kept on top. Sweltering Suns. Done like we have Coco. Cocos are out. Another Deep Root Water. Probably dead here. We have 2 more turns. Opponent is topping everything. I have no way to deal with this. Grixis. 3-mana Sweeper and Grixis is going to be actually something interesting. Because that deck usually lacked a good Clarion style effect. Helps them there. So this is the deck. I'll get it up on Stream Decker. I think it's pretty good, especially in best of 1. Wasn't great like against heavy removal, but I think if we play it in a best of 3, like in that game we would have brought in Coppola and then Deep Root Waters and then Negates and Spell Pierce, kind of shore this up, get rid of some of the weaker stuff. I don't think Deep Root Elite's that good against Grixis. Stuff like Brazen Borrower we probably don't want. Hey John Ramos, how's it going? Just actually wrapping this one up. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Let's see who's online and drop a raid. We can drop one to the real Killer Dubs. I think he's playing Flash today. Real Killer usually finishes like top 1200 with Flash. I don't know how. Every time I play his decks I do terrible, but he really navigates those Flash matchups well. So let's drop a raid here. And I appreciate everyone tuning in. You can catch my content on my YouTube channel or over here on Twitch. I'll be back on Saturday for